नहीं, ये मत लगाओ।
Yeah, now it's saying Facebook Live.
Yes, so we are live now.
We're live? Okay.
Hemraj is also there. Hemraj has also come.
Please join.
Yes.
Okay. Shall we go ahead then? Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first session of Optometry Council of India on Facebook. The topic for today is the empowerment of optometrists in eye care advocacy. Advocacy is a very broad topic, so we thought that we'll give you kind of a snapshot through one of the projects that Optometry Council of India ran. This project was entirely right from the conception to implementation and results, and everything was completely managed solely by optometrists. So that's the speciality of the project. And I think in terms of advocacy, we do have some kind of knowledge to kind of gain through this project. And that's the reason we picked this up. So I'll just share the screen and I'll give you a small snapshot of what the project was about. And then after that, we go on to the panel discussion. Before that, let me introduce all the panelists. I think all of you are familiar with Paula. She's the operation manager for Optometry Council of India. Then after that is Mishti. So I'm not going in any particular order, just whatever I'm seeing on my screen, that's the order that I'm going in. So Mishti is a young optometrist practicing in Bangalore. Divya is, if you can just wave, Divya, so that everybody knows. Yeah, Divya is an educator in SRM Chennai. After that is Aishwarya, who's an educator at Lakshmi College in Navi Mumbai. Roshna, administrator at Bansara College of Optometry in Shillong. Vishal is a young optometrist at present in Calcutta. Of course, the star of the day, Nilesh Sitte. Everybody knows he does not need any young
optometrist.
Young optometrist, okay, young optometrist. Saranya, who is the principal of Achyuta College in Salem. And of course, the other star, Khemraj from Bausch & Lomb. So this project was called as Experience Vision. And let me just share my screen and I'll give you just a snapshot of. Yeah, so Experience Vision, it was a CSR initiative of Bausch & Lomb India, and this was executed by Optometry Council of India. Basically, the project was in 3 phases. Phase 1 was material distribution in terms of posters to 400 government schools which had eye care information and in different languages and so on. Phase 2 was we screened around 15 to 16,000 children, all government school children all over India. It was a pan-India project basically. And phase 3 was a very interesting one where we used young optometrists to counsel high school children about optometry as a career. Phase 1, we came up with 12 posters, and I think Nilesh will talk a little bit more about this. All these posters were developed by young optometrists, and if you can see the posters, they're all very colorful ones, basically made colorful so that they're more attractive to children in school. And they were made in 9 different languages. So we had 12 posters giving varying kind of information on eye care. And also, about some of the myths, like, as you can see, crossed eyes, they need attention. It's not that some of the communities think that crossed eyes is lucky and things like that. And they really don't, consult anybody if the kid has crossed eyes. So varying kind of information the posters had. And we also developed a PowerPoint presentation, which the optometrists went and presented in these government schools, both to the teachers and to the students. So the presentation had information on myopia, on squint, and various common eye conditions, basically. And this is just an example of Divya attending one of the schools and presenting. And basically the posters, as you can see, being used, and Sharanya on the other side giving a presentation again. And we also involve the school children in terms of taking care of the posters, sticking those posters, so they feel more involved in the entire project as well. Phase 2, we basically developed protocol that was completely optometry centric. The reason I say that is we aimed at a comprehensive eye examination so that we could pick up as many eye conditions as possible, and without any dilatation of the eye. So the available protocols were all reviewed, and then we came up with a different protocol in terms of eye examination in all these government schools. And this was a standard protocol. So the same protocol was used pan-India in different locations. Everybody followed the same protocol. And this was released as well by Bausch & Lomb. And you can see Paula giving the training through Skype. Now, of course, everybody is online. But at that time, although, travel was not a hassle, we still thought that we could do a Skype call and then train all of them on the standard protocol. So all the educators who were involved in this project were all trained on the same protocol, and the equipment were also sent to all of them. This is again some pictures of phase 2. We of course did color vision and binocular vision assessment, and to our surprise, we did find that there were 2% children who suffered from some kind of color vision anomaly, which was quite surprising. And 12% had some kind of binocular vision anomaly, which was picked up. And this 12% is quite similar to other studies which have been reported as well. And the kids were also given, a couple of frames from which they could themselves select. So they had the option, if they didn't like one, they could select another frame and things like that. So that freedom was also given to the children. And on the right-hand side of my screen, you can see the small children in Northeast. I put this picture because they're so cute and chubby, and the photograph was so so attractive. So I had to
so lively also.
Absolutely lively. And again, some more photographs, and they went for one more visit to actually check whether the spectacles that was processed are good. Is it functioning for the people who had refractive error and so on. Again, the distribution of spectacles. So basically, just wanted to highlight one case where we picked up amblyopia, and Kemraj was quite helpful in providing contact lens to that patient of amblyopia, and that person is getting treated because of anisometropia. We had to give them contact lens as an option, and there's a follow-up being done on this patient as well. So that's something that just came out of the project. Phase 3 was very interesting. So we had to go and look at high school children. So anybody 10th, 11th, and 12th, these were the 3 classes that were targeted. And young optometrists went to counsel about optometry as a profession and also share their experience. They were optometrists who had recently graduated, and so they shared their experiences to tell them what optometry as a career was. This is one of the flyers that the students themselves developed. And these are some of the props they used to basically, explain about optometry as a profession. So in conclusion, basically the entire project was in 3 phases, and it was completed in a time of 1.5 years. And I would, as I said, like to repeat that the entire project, right from the conception, development of posters, development of materials that were used for counseling, entire thing was, managed entirely by optometry students and optometrists as professionals. So that's basically a summary of the entire project. I'll stop sharing the screen now. So now it's over to you, Nilesh, as a chair, and to share your experiences when you develop the posters. And then after that, we'll go on to, the different phases and so on.
Yeah, Lakshmi, I think this is commendable work done by the Optometry Council of India, along with all these wonderful young and also experienced educators, clinicians, youngsters recently graduated optoms, all of them, coming together and putting up such wonderful show. And I think we also need to congratulate Bausch & Lomb for,
for supporting this,
partnering and supporting in this kind of project, which is actually reaching out to the community. It's not like, we are just talking about optometry within ourselves. We are reaching out to the community where we are required, right? we are doing the needful where it is needed. I think that is extremely important. And I just saw the numbers on the last slide. I think they're phenomenal numbers in what we have
Yeah.
achieved together as a group. So first of all, congratulations to everyone involved in this. And I think this is a commendable job.
Yeah, I mean, I just like to say a word that, all of them involved in the project, all the schools that we partnered with, all the, young optometrists that we partnered with in this project. I mean, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic when it comes to, things like their enthusiasm in getting involved in the project, as well as, when it comes to data collection and then, delivering whatever we had requested. We had to follow the protocol. They had to fill the data sheet and then send it and all of that. So absolutely commendable job. And, this 1 lakh students that we covered, the posters was a great hit, among the, not that I'm not saying that the different faces, anything else was wrong with it, but the posters, I mean, the hit of the posters was so much that we were getting so many responses from everybody. Different responses saying, oh, this kid said this looking at the poster, somebody else said something else looking at the poster. The posters were absolutely a hit. And
Awesome.
we made sure that the word optometrist was mentioned so
in
that
poster,
the profession gets recognized and, the teachers get to know what the profession is, that there is a profession called optometry and so on. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
and these things will not happen without having passion and enthusiasm, as you said. See, we don't do this because we are going to earn money out of this. This is completely for the society. This is something which owe to the society and something which we want to give back to the profession, right? So it is absolutely voluntary in most of the cases, and it's all about passion. Yeah, that is what drives us here. Cool. And I'll just quickly share my own experience. It's not much of my own experience, but wherever I was involved, I was so happy that we started talking about it. And then there was a point when we said, we need to develop some posters so that these school, very simple posters that small children can understand and lay people, public can understand. And then I remembered, oh, we have a wonderful group of young optometrists and students who are so creative, and they are just waiting for an opportunity and a platform to showcase their creativity. So I think it was just marrying two different, I would say, entities for this common cause. It was a wonderful marriage, and you saw eventually what came out of it, right? So when I just posted this on a group that, there is an opportunity where you might have to showcase your creativity. We might need posters like that for children, and it has to be done voluntarily. All of you, who do you think will put your hand up? Immediately in first 10 to 15 minutes, I had around 15-20 volunteers coming up. So it was difficult for me to pick and choose. Actually, I was thinking, kaun aayega na? It will, who has time and who will do this? But it was the other way around, actually. And there were so many people who were enthusiastic. So what we did was we immediately created a smaller group who were interested in developing these posters. Vishal was one of them, actually. I think Mishti was also one of them. So these people, and there are more people also whom we cannot invite all of them here, but they came together, they formed a group, they started discussing ideas. Within the group, they formed smaller groups, and they worked on each poster. And then there was ideas floating around. There was feedback given. The first cut is not good enough, then you have to work on the second cut, etc. And I think we also eventually get it done from the professionals, just to get the look and feel completely standardized. So I think the end product was tremendous, and in the entire process, these young students and the young optometrists, they learned a lot. So I think, thank you so much to OCI for giving them this opportunity to at least showcase their talent, right? So
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
that's about
And
my point.
yeah, and as you said, creativity, absolutely creative when it comes to, and some of them, because of the limited areas that we could cover, we went out with 12 posters. If we had more,
Yeah,
I mean, we could
had so
have
many.
definitely
So
had
many.
more areas to cover, because, and the taglines that they were coming up with, I mean,
They're
absolutely
phenomenal.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And we
congratulations
also
to
had to
all.
make sure, that it was the tagline was not only relevant in English. We had to make sure that when it was
Translation as well.
translated, also the
Yeah.
same information gets conveyed. So that was a difficult part, saying that the same information, if translated, needs to be conveyed in all the different languages.
Right. And information without losing the impact. That's always a challenge
Yes,
in translation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think eventually we achieved what we wanted. And I want to compliment all those who are involved in creating those. I think let's move across to all these lovely panelists who are just waiting for me to mera turn kab aayega kind of situation, right? So we'll go phase wise. I think we have 3 phases, so we'll go phase wise. And in phase 1, I think Divya, Saranya, and Roshna were involved in that. But I'm just gonna hang on. I'm just gonna ask Divya to hold on a little bit. And being the senior in this particular group, I'm gonna come to Sharanya. Yeah, Saranya. So
Thank you. Thank you. But senior, I'm not sure. I exactly love the word, but
shall I say it wiser?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I'm gonna come to Sharanya and ask her. So Sharanya, how was your overall experience? Because you did this in not
Small
the main
town.
city. It was a smaller town, right?
Yeah.
It was Salem, is it?
Erode.
Erode. So you did it in Erode. So relatively smaller town. So we are just curious to know how it went on in your particular city, and what did you enjoy and what were the challenges?
So Erode is basically a small town which is situated between 2 bigger cities, Salem and Coimbatore.
Okay.
So it's usually people going west all the time for treatment and things like that. So we have a lot of we have to put in a lot of effort to actually reach and say no, all the services are available even here and now.
Mm-hmm.
What I enjoyed the most about the whole process was when I went in and I had to talk to the headmasters or the teachers. The posters were fantastic. It gave me a direct walkthrough because I said, can I just talk to you about these posters? I didn't tell them I'm going to come and do the screening first. So I said, can I just talk to you about a little bit of awareness that I want to create? And can I just give me half an hour. Let me talk to you about this and then we'll figure out what we want to do next. And I was telling Lakshmi as well, when we finally went in and spoke to the teachers were like, they'll tear the posters, they won't be maintained well. I got a whole list of how the process is not going to work. So I said, okay, give me a chance. Let me try with your students. Let's see what happens. So we came up with the plan that we had these 9 different posters. So we were going to go and give it to each class and say, this is your poster. This is your class poster.
Wow.
So even now, when we went 6 months back before this lockdown, it is so beautifully maintained by those kids. And they take so much pride because, one of them was like, ma'am, vandu parunga. I mean, she basically said, come and see the poster, see how well ours is.
So they're really valuing it. They're valuing it.
Yeah, they had decorated the poster. And one of the things that I really, really felt as far as the usage of this poster was concerned is this one on squint. There is a big myth down south that if you have a squint, it is a big sign of luck, and you're not supposed to have it, sorted at all. The squint is supposed to remain. So one of those children who I screened, she saw the poster and brought her younger brother, who was 1.5 years old, because he had a squint. So I think we achieved the target of actually creating the awareness.
Absolutely. And they say proof of the sambar is in eating, right?
Eating.
So you got the
Absolutely.
evidence. You got the evidence.
Absolutely. So I felt, really, this felt very close to my heart.
Awesome.
And, generally pediatric screening is something which I do on a regular basis. So this made it so much more rewarding. We in fact have, some of the local Lions clubs have now come forward saying, if you want more posters, let us know, and kind of things. So,
very cool.
I think that was the highlight of what our experience as far as the first phase of it was concerned.
Beautiful.
So the entry was made much easier with the colorful posters.
So if your product is good, it sells for itself,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Any challenges?
Challenges, I think initially getting the permission from the government. Okay. Getting the legal permissions and things sorted out. So again, the posters help, because when I was talking about the posters to one of the teachers who happened to be a Lions Club member, the Lions Club then said, why aren't you doing it for more schools? And I said, well, this is the problem. And then they said, let's go to the collector, we'll get it sorted out for you. So the poster was like literally the poster child for me. Everywhere I went, I could just kind of wave the poster
Lovely.
and get things done. So that initially was a bit of a challenge.
Okay.
Because there is a screening system in place, which has been organized by the government of Tamil Nadu. So we had to sort of say, no, we'll do this. Give us a turn also, let us do this. So going through the collector, getting things done that way,
Right.
Initially was a bit of a struggle, but then
Right.
it did work.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Aranya. I'm going to come back to you a little later. Let me move across to Divya. She's also, itching to go, and her experience is also very unique. So we are all ears to listen to you as well, Divya.
Nilesh,
Yeah.
I just want to say that Aishwarya was also involved in both phase 1 and phase 2, but because of time constraints,
Of course,
I
yeah.
thought
We have some other questions for Aishwarya, not to worry. And meanwhile, this is on Facebook Live. So guys, if you're watching it on Facebook Live, and if you have any comments or any question for the panelists, please comment there. We'll take the relevant ones. Also depends on the time, but we'll try our best to, incorporate your questions and comments. Divya.
Yeah. So like as Saranya ma'am told, the posters were like a walkthrough, and the best part is where we felt really good is the teachers and the principal were like, madam, don't put it here, put it a little on top, okay, so that the children
Will reach there.
will not tear it. And they were also very particular to display it in the places where the parents will come and pick up their children. So we also made sure that we displayed the poster in those places, especially the kindergarten and the small first standard, second standard. In that places, the parents generally go and pick the children. So we made sure we placed the posters in such places. Yeah. And they were very, as ma'am told, they were very concerned that the posters should not go as a waste. And they gave correct ideas which will be the right place to place the poster. In that way, I will really, we are really thankful to the school authorities. And our unique experience is the experience like where we went for a normal school. We did the awareness program there. And after completing the awareness program, the principal of that school, they just asked us, ma'am, we have a deaf and dumb school nearby. So would you mind, sharing your experience with the special children?
Right.
We were like actually, excited. Okay, though we were really totally unprepared. It was myself and my colleague Shakuntala. We both went in, sharing showing the posters and explaining about that, along with the presentation which OCI has shared. So we went there, and the children, it was only one class actually. The children's were like, it's not a particular 6th standard, 7th standard. It was a group of children between 12 to 14 years of age.
Okay.
And since it was a small group, we were able to interact well with them.
Okay.
And 2 teachers were there, and they were like, ma'am, you explain with actions and with the pictures, they will understand. In case if they don't understand, we will do it in sign language and we will show it to them. So that's what they told. And it was really a very nice experience.
Right.
Where we showed the poster, explained, like for example, myopia, durum, like that, whatever we could enact, we did that. And like some conditions like diabetic retinopathy, if it is there in your diabetes is there in your parents, it will you should ask them to go and get their eyes checked. Those things, with the sign language, the teachers helped us to communicate. And in order to make sure at least 1 or 2 messages was taken by them, we asked few questions, and they again replied with the sign language, and the teacher told us what they meant. So it was a very nice experience.
Must be very enriching, right?
Yeah.
Very challenging also, no, Divya? You would have learned so much while doing
Absolutely.
that. How do I convey this in sign language?
Yes.
Very cool.
The posters helped a lot because that was visual, and it conveyed the information which we want to see.
Okay, thanks, Divya. Now from Chennai, we are going to the eastern part of India, the beautiful part where, the land of clouds, is it Meghalaya?
Yeah.
So See, we somehow we don't know much about, how things are happening there, and that's exactly
Yeah,
why we are so eager to hear from you,
to
how
hear
you
from
went
my
about
side.
it,
Yeah.
and how was your experience.
Okay, so our state, Meghalaya, is in the northeastern part of the country. And here, like 90% of the population is tribal, majority of whom lives in the rural areas. Now, as a state, we have approximately 60% of the population below the age of 25 years. So, hence, we are a demographically very young state, and because of which eye health becomes a very crucial factor for us.
Hmm.
And not only this, eye health awareness, which I believe is the first step towards improving the health seeking behavior
Right.
of people around, becomes a big pillar of our service delivery program. And Experience Vision Project approaching us, through by Optometry Council of India, gave us this opportunity, beautiful opportunity, to reach out to the students in the ruralmost part of
Right.
Jaintia Hills district in our state. And we could provide awareness to them. And through and the awareness that was provided was not only through done given through verbal presentations, which was so holistic, because it involved the students as well as the teachers, but also through their vibrant, colorful, like ma'am also mentioned, and everybody is mentioning about the posters, you see. And it was so engaging, and the best thing was it was very easy to understand,
Right.
you know and usually I have seen that whenever we distribute any information material, it is filled up with contents, with a lot of content. But the OCI posters, it had a very good balance between the pictorial representation as well as a small takeaway home message. And because of which it could the students could relate to these
Right.
messages. And it helped them kept motivated, and they were engaged. This event was not just an event, they were fully involved and engaged
Right.
throughout. And as a result, yes, it definitely helped us in improving our service delivery outcome as a whole.
And any particular challenge you want to single out, which was difficult?
So, because as an institution, we specifically selected schools which is present in the ruralmost part of the state.
Yeah.
So, as a result, the transportation cost to us was very high,
Okay.
And when we did the awareness, that was a month of like July till June, July, August, yeah. And screening was also done in that point of time. So it is anyway a monsoon season. And because you just mentioned land of clouds,
It's
so we
always monsoon
received,
season, right?
yeah, it's always monsoon season, and that time it is more extreme rainfall.
Okay.
So the roads were pretty bad, like to reach out to them,
Okay.
every time we had to communicate anything, the networks were not possible.
Right.
Reaching the principals and the teachers were not possible, so we had to physically send our health workers to that place. So it was quite difficult for us.
Yeah, I think one takeaway point for all of us who are planning programs is looking at the ground realities and the challenges at the ground level. Like if you're sitting in Delhi, probably you will not look at this as a potential problem, but when
Yeah.
you're actually on ground doing this, it comes up as a problem. So I think it's
Yes,
a great
yes, sir.
insight for all of us whenever we are planning any program, that execution and planning are two different things, and we need to look at
Yeah,
other
because
issues.
our context is very different compared to
Absolutely.
the mainland. Yeah.
And that's exactly why we are so eager to learn from you. Yeah. So thanks, Roshna. So that was more about that was about the phase one of the program. Now we are moving to the phase two, and as Lakshmi said, Aishwarya was involved in both. But let me hear from Aishwarya, because she was her institute is outside Mumbai, right? It's in Panvel. It's a smaller, different city. So how did you go about the phase? You can add a little bit of phase one also. How did you go about these two? Phase two was more about screening of the children, and also providing them spectacles if they are emmetropes. Am I right? Yeah. So Aishwarya.
I would just begin with yes, we started the process of phase two, I would say, with the residuals of phase one, definitely, because the posters still helped us again to approach to the schools, okay, to number of schools. So here I would say experience of reaching to the school, letting our marketing team, along with the marketing team, we need to have one team member who is and either an optometrist or an intern on somebody who actually goes there, speaks to the teacher or the principal over there, and maybe some parents or whoever is there in the school over there. And majorly our approach was via not only the marketing team, but somebody, eye care professional also joining them, so that the message goes very clear. But major thing what I could notice is the so-called hashtag problem of Mumbai that is time. टाइम नहीं है यहाँ पे,
टाइम नहीं है किसी को, कभी भी टाइम नहीं है किसी के पास,
यहाँ पे टाइम किसी के पास नहीं है. So that is the main thing, that while approaching we actually had got the need to demonstrate what eye health exactly is, where even the posters helped us a lot. And at the same time, even our optos or the marketing team was trained in such a manner कि just explain them the need of eye health, especially to the kids. And time for them was like कि अरे नहीं हमारे बच्चे सब ठीक है, our kids are absolutely normal, no nothing is happening to them, it's fine, so just it cannot happen. Or else our program used to be according to the time that is given by them.
Mm-hmm.
This will be our assembly, this will be our prayer, and this will be our lunch break. Itne se itne is the time slot, in that you have to do your program or you have to do the students. And thing is, they many a times the hurdle came as they are not simply everyone is not bothered to finish the slot. Like, okay, fine, now it's the lunchtime, it's okay if standard 4 is not completed, so let it be fine. 10 bacche ho gaye, so it's okay, let's ignore it. So that was an issue, that was a major issue because of the time. And with the time, we have one more thing ki whenever we call the students for referrals, okay, whenever we explain them or whenever we explain to the teacher ki okay fine, these are the students whom we are referring to our main hospital where they have to come and get their further investigations done. So this thing doesn't get clear to them. So it is more of like, even if the teacher delivers the message to the parents, it is more of the parents ignoring it and talking about, they take it as please do whatever is needed over here. Either you have to give a chashma, then give it over here.
Okay.
Medicine, whatever you want to do it over here only. No need of calling. We cannot come there. Okay, I even saw the reluctancy of parents and asking me personally that is the hospital going to pay our transportation charge if we have to get our kids over there for further checkup. So for that reason, then we just came out with the idea of like how we do a cataract pickup in various places. In the same manner, we started taking up the referrals. Okay, we actually arrange the pickup for the referrals. We go into the schools, we get those kids, we arrange our own buses, we get the kids, and we do the checkup, everything. That's absolutely like after phase 2, we realized that yes, there is a need of follow-up, which on phone or just be going behind the principal or the school teachers is not helping to be arranged. Until now, we are continuing that thing. After phase 2 also, immediately we had to send our follow-up vehicle. We get the school referral kids, whatever is the number that is given to them in prior. And for that also the school will request us ki no, we have a parents teacher meeting, come there, please explain us why you want to call the students, what exactly is the problem, why can't it be solved over here. So we literally had a marketing team and either one of my team member going and being in the parents meeting and explaining them. So over there, definitely those posters helped, where we could explain them ki see, this is what squint is all about, this is what your kid is facing, all these things. So yeah, definitely now we have taken it as a practice ki we are arranging pickups for the students, all these referral kits, where many a times even this was observed ki even the kids were sent as in with us. Matlab there is no not a single parent accompanying them. So because of that, we had a issue with dilating the kids. Right. Further investigation. They are just like, okay, fine, hospital is doing the process free of cost, whatever, let them tell to the teacher or anything, whatever happens, they just have that thing in mind, okay, the spectacle would be given. So for that reason, this again was a major challenge where the counseling needs to, is a part where we had to work on like very much deadly. Why? Because everybody showed us, okay, they don't have time. 5 to 6 rounds of approach was made to the school to organize a program, and that also organize the screening, that too according to their time.
Their timing,
yeah, which is given by them. But yeah, definitely I would say I would appreciate, actually I had a very motivated team, I would say, with all our third year students, interns, few optos, the marketing member, everyone. They are like very motivated, in which I actually don't have everybody speaking Marathi. I myself don't speak Marathi that well, so which was a major problem for us. But still, my team was like very motivated. The students, all the students over here are really very motivated to work, to do something like this. A community work is something they could enjoy.
right.
I don't know whether everybody enjoys or takes it. Okay. Other than this, also they saw this community work or community eye health to be one of their subject of interest, with which even they want to participate, and they could show their enough enthusiasm.
Lovely.
Explaining the students and doing the screening process. And whenever we go back to give the spectacles or take a follow, then also we always have this as a request ki aap log aaye hi hain, to please go for a checkup, please do the checkup of all the kids again. So which is a very tedious thing, and explaining all these things in details is little difficult, but it happens. These are the major things that happen. And we have even the migrants. We have approached some tribal schools, especially during phase 2. This was the issue. We had approached some government tribal schools where they have got lots of benefits. That is true. But in tribal schools, we have those migrant kids, like their parents migrate from one area to area wise because of type of work they have. So they have those migrant kids coming to the schools. So the teachers or the principal is just like ki, "Arey no, ye apna nahi hai." So they are just not our kid. Come here and they are just here for maybe more 2-3 months, and again their parents will shift somewhere, so they'll go. So no need of doing anything for them. So,
oh my God, that's an issue.
That's
a major issue that we saw. Even if we had spectacle, we had one kid who was supposed to get spectacle, who was a migrant kid. He was not given the spectacle. Because today he'll take, after 6 months, if you come for a follow-up, you will not find that kid again. So where he will give, where he will throw, all these things. So those people were not taken seriously over there. So that was a drawback.
This is a very unique challenge, right? We haven't heard of this
yeah,
before.
very unique. And even this thing, I'm really surprised that they allowed the kids without parents to be taken to the hospital.
Yeah, that's
so this is one issue which Sharanya and me have been discussing in other forums as well. Because for different projects, we really need, because there's one more project which we are looking at as OCI, and we really need parents' consent and stuff like that, for referrals. So it is definitely a challenge when it comes to that.
This is a major challenge that we have faced, where we actually, that's why we are okay with organizing, we are okay with being a part of their parents teacher meeting, where we can
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
So where we have somebody who goes and who talks about, see, this is your eye checkup that will happen. And one more thing, it is taken as what it is considered, especially in the rural, the tribal schools of this Raigad side, Navi Mumbai. I would not say preferably Navi Mumbai, somewhere interiors to Navi Mumbai, as our hospital is situated in Navi Mumbai. So there they just have it's like God ka bacha. So you just leave. Okay, fine. He cannot see, so it's okay, fine. He's God ka bacha. He's like that. Bhagwan has given him to be like this, or the Bhagwan, it is Bhagwan's kid. So it is okay. So even if he cannot see, then it's fine. Even if the kid, even we saw cases of cataract being given low vision devices.
Oops.
Yeah, because nobody has ever told them this is
right. So yeah, they haven't probably got a proper checkup done.
Yes. So because of that, nobody has given them this all. They have never bothered to get all these checkups done, and they just get a lot of facilities because of all those low vision certificate and everything. For that, they have just taken it.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Your students would have learned a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just coming
definitely.
to that actually.
Yes, definitely. My students, like our students, the team was like very energetic, very enthusiastic. And this year we had more of people who are like non-Maharashtrians, but still, however they could communicate, however it was possible for them, they could communicate with the kids, they could do the screening, even if not talking in perfect
Right.
Malayalam, but still, because this is the major challenge. Even if going into
Mm.
interior schools, you don't have the teachers also speaking to you in English or Hindi.
Yeah.
So even the teachers will talk. Even if we ask or we say something in English, even I face this problem when we have a follow-up call or something, somebody is directly talking, or I myself visiting the place. So I just don't have the teachers
Yeah.
directly talking to me. Why? Because they don't want to listen in Hindi or English.
True.
So
So I think quite a few learnings here, and I'm particularly happy with the passion of your institute and the students, because they are also asking stuff about
Yeah.
community and they're getting
yes,
interested in
yes,
that. So
they are very
this is the
interested.
silver lining. This is what I think. This is
Because they
quite
want to continue somewhere, they want to do pursue their future in which they can practice
correct.
this also.
That's awesome. So thanks so much, Aishwarya. Meanwhile, I'm just again we're getting some congratulatory comments on the Facebook. So thank you everyone who are commenting those. Also, if you have any questions for the panelists, please post them here. Now let me move across to Charanya again to listen to her about her experience with the second phase, which was screening and distribution of spectacles.
Phase 2 was kind of easier or much more, comfortable than phase 1, because it was more of what we were doing and what we were already trained to do.
Right.
And because we had already negotiated the curves of, getting the permissions, and we had already, what we had done specifically was we had identified at least one teacher in each school who was really keen on getting
Okay.
the health checkup done. So we kind of worked in sort of
Around
correlation with that teacher, around them.
Around.
We kind of said, we're not going to disturb your classes. It's going to take less than 20 minutes per class. Give us the time, because I'll send the kids back as soon as the screening is done. The only thing that we had a problem was when they had to come back to the main hospital sometimes for a fundus evaluation and things like that, or a cycloplegic refraction. So some of my students have become very good experts at doing Borish delayed and cyclodemia procedures, because we said they're not going to come, learn how to do it here, get on with it, and try and prescribe.
Very good.
So, that I think that sort of brought out how it is going to be in reality in a clinic,
Right.
when they're going to be sitting over there, because we're not allowed to use atropine
Right.
or cycloplegic.
So they got the real picture, and the
They got
teacher
the real
and the
picture. I
teacher
said,
in you ensured
Exactly.
that they learn.
That's the thing, I kind of felt really rotten doing that to them, saying, look, this is what is going to be in your clinic, learn to do it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
kind of standing there, hands itching to do it, but holding back and saying, no, do it.
They have to learn.
Do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think that was what our phase 2 was. We had a little issues with getting them back into the clinic for some fundus evaluations and things like
Okay.
that. So this is what I was telling Lakshmi. I'm surprised with Aishwarya's case that the children were allowed to come in without parents, because Child Safety Act, there are so many other legalities which are involved with that. So we were a little, cautious about bringing them without the parents. What we did instead was we said, Sundays we'll open up specifically for you. You come in on a Sunday, we'll work on a Sunday, because those are the days the parents are not working. So we said we'll do that. The other option we gave them was, if you want to come after 7, we're still happy to see you after 7. We'll stay till 8, 9 on certain days, and we'll work with you. So we kind of gave them other options, because I didn't want to work with the children without the parents. And the other thing is, even when we gave glasses to the kids, unless the parents and the grandparents were convinced, it wasn't working. Parents would understand, and the grandparents would say, nobody in our generation, nobody in the entire family has ever worn glasses. So why are you wearing glasses? And
because nobody in your generation used smartphone till now.
Exactly.
The kids do.
Exactly. So, we had to kind of, so I preferred to have parents or at least the grandparents bring in the child. So we gave the option to the teachers. We said, tell them whoever the primary carer of the child is to bring with them. So that was the learning we had. And I think our students absolutely thoroughly enjoyed this training.
They do actually.
And we had sort of brought in this thing where I would talk to the principal and get things organized, but on, getting everything packed, getting everything moving on that day, making sure all the forms were filled, getting the groundwork was entirely done by the students.
So I'm taking a couple of, points here. One is the flexibility. that you showed, because see, you want them to come, so we need to
Yeah.
understand their problems, and we need to cater to them, right, in a
Absolutely.
way that it is comfortable for them and convenient for them. So if that means we have to change the timings, we have to, can't
Yeah.
help, right? And
Yeah.
also the point where students enjoyed and learn. I remember when I was teaching, we also used to take students away almost for a week in a remote location, where they used to do throughout the day, they used to do screening, they used to learn so much. And after the work was done, of course, we used to have a little bit of fun as well.
That's
But
right.
those were memories, and they learned so much doing these activities that even today
Absolutely.
they talk about it.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
And
Thanks.
I
it's
think there was a
also
certain amount of
holiday
bonding
away
that
from
happened
college.
there.
Yeah.
They love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's away from college, right?
Absolutely.
So it's away from the normal work. So they really love it.
It's learn with fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Sharanya was also one of the people in our panel who did who coined the protocol. Nilesh.
Protocol,
So that is yeah. So she was one of the panelists for that as well. So
That's
thanks,
why I was
Sharanya, for all
saying
your input.
that's why I was saying most experience and
thank
wise
you.
and stuff like that. She's
Very
not
wise.
taking it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I take that now.
Okay, let me come back to our favorite region, which is the land of clouds.
East. Yeah, so it was kind of strange to hear from Miss Aishwarya, you know, that when they were kind of approaching the schools, they responded in a way like they're having time crunch or come next time.
Yeah.
Which is very funny in our context because of the opportunity that comes, the limited opportunity that comes and filters to the Northeast, you know, at first. When we reach out to the schools, you know, especially in the rural areas, you know, mentioning about these projects. And I feel the project was a complete holistic project, and there was a complete compliance for eye care, not only through awareness, but to screening and spectacle distribution. So they were very, very happy. You know, they welcomed us. They offered us. They offered our team, in fact, the food. You know, and as I mentioned, the
I think that
I'm going-
basically
I am
highlights
going
your
there.
regional differences.
Yeah.
Lakshmi,
Because for us, this kind of opportunity is like grab on. You see, because
true.
no, very less focus is given on the Northeast anyways, and the rural part of the Northeast India is like a different story altogether.
Nilesh, retirement plans?
That's what I'm
for both
saying.
of us?
Yeah. Yeah. And well, I'm sure all of you know, the panelists present here, the members present here, we face a lot of challenges which is relevant to our own context, you know, like low awareness, affordability, accessibility, and so on. But here in our state, to further add up to all these things, we face like a lot of additional challenges, like very low population density. Like national average is 382, here it's only 190, and when we go to its more interior, it's like it's like very, very less, you know, 60, 70 people per square kilometer. Yeah, so to reach out to them and to reach out to those kind of schools, it's like extremely challenge for us. Yeah, and poor health seeking behavior is also there because the intervention has not been much. As I mentioned, heavy rainfall, difficult terrain, transportation cost, and so on. However, despite of all these challenges, I'm very, you know, glad to mention that it is only because of intervention of projects like Experience Vision through in collaboration with OCI and Bosch and Lomb that we even get to reach out to these rural students, you know, give them screening, standardized screening, like ma'am mentioned, standard protocol, standard processes, tools were also given to our team to go and screen them. And you know, not only screen, but also provide them with spectacles, like a full compliance, like what I told them. Yeah, you know, like it's a door-to-door step delivery for them.
So it's also providing a solution, not just screening.
Yeah, not just leaving
That's an
it
important
half-ended.
aspect.
Yeah, and if we just go and do the screening, then it's also like incomplete, I feel, because you know, it's just a one-time intervention. But following up, like, you know, initial intervention with awareness makes it kind of like, even in the future they have problems, they know our center, they know our vision centers, they know about our hospital, that we are approachable, you know. And yeah, so otherwise it is you know, it is very highly unlikely that these students in the rural areas will even get the opportunity or a slight chance also to undergo such comprehensive school-eye screening. Yeah, so
awesome.
that's why
So,
I'm very
so I think
thankful.
look at the, you know, issues that we have in different regions. Like in one region there is we're providing opportunities and providing care, and people
Yeah.
don't have time to take that. On the
Yeah.
other hand, there are people who are just waiting for you to come to them,
Opportunity. Yeah.
waiting for the
Chances.
opportunity.
Yeah.
So I think this covers the entire spectrum wonderfully well. Thanks so much,
Yeah.
Roshni. We'll come back
Thank
to you
you.
anyway.
Yeah.
Now we are coming to the next stage, which is also equally exciting and interesting, which was
Sir,
more
if you
about.
don't mind, can I just ask one
Divya.
question to Roshna?
Yeah, go ahead.
Since she covered rural part, I'm just curious to know how much was the prevalence of refractive
I
error?
wanted to ask this question at the end, but you
It
asked to
was,
leave it here.
yeah, when we combine, it was 8.8%, like approximately 9%, you can say. Yeah,
So
and these areas were like 60 kilometers away from the base hospital, from the main city.
So around 8.5, you said?
8.5, 9, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
you can
So
say.
what I'm going to do is the others, towards the end, I'll ask each one of you the same question. So if you remember it offhand, wonderful. Otherwise, some other time. Let's move across to the phase 3, which was also equally exciting, where these young, torch bearers of optometry, they actually went to schools and they talked about optometry as a career option. And they also had some demonstrations, I assume. So between Mishti and Vishal, who wants to go first? I'll give it to you. Just to give a background, these are the young optometrists who have who graduated recently and working in the field already. And they were very, very keen, and they were very, very eager to do something for the profession. So that's why they took it up and they went to standard 11 and 12. What was that?
It was schools and colleges.
Schools and colleges. So
High school and
junior colleges and high schools.
Yes.
So typically standard 9, 10, 11, 12 kind of students. So
Yes.
they went to them and they spoke about optometry as an option. So who wants to go first? I'll leave it to you.
Good evening, sir. Anyone can go for
You started, so go
You
ahead.
already
Vishal.
started.
Go ahead.
Okay,
I'll give it to you.
first, I would like to thanks our mentors, leader, motivator, and you can say obviously he's an optometrist. So Nilesh sir, is really thanks to you and Lakshmi ma'am. Without you, it was not I was not going to be a part of this team. Especially special thank to Paula ma'am and all our team members who were part of this project Experience Vision Third, and a special thank to our Kemu sir. Without him, this thing was not coming to this reality exactly. So I will share my experience when I taken up this challenge, something telling about optometry awareness to our Indian moms, right? If you compare to our population, we have 135 crores population in India, and optometrists, they are very less in numbers. And majority of the Indian moms, they don't know about what is optometry and what is optometrist actually. So when Lily sir told me about something, there is a exciting things which is going to, if you want to take this challenge as a complete this project. So if you want to be part of this project, you can raise your hand. And when I taken up this challenge, we got a team also, and they were across all part of our region in India. We covered in 6 cities, around 30 schools this project. When we there was a colleague of mine, his name is Rajeshi. There were so many colleagues, Ria was there from Siliguri, Ahmedabad, Jamin was there from Bangalore, you can say Misty and Nikhil was there, and Delhi, the Viva ma'am was there. There are so many optoms who were involved in this project. So when I taken up this challenge, when I used to visit schools, we are optometrists, we are professionals, and we'd like to do a session of approx 3-hour session to your schools of class 9, 10th, 11th, 12th student, especially for those students who are a part of science stream. And we will just tell you about the optometry as a career. It's a very, 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 you can say very passionate job, and especially youngster will be enjoying this job as a fun. It's a fun, you can say, as a knowledge, as a there are a lot of options of optometry. If you are going to count this, you won't able to stop. What are the options in optometry field, right?
So did they allow you immediately?
Sorry, sir?
So did they allow you immediately?
No, not at all, not at all. No. So first we met to the security guard. They said you just give me the paper letters and we'll just submit to the principal. And we never got this call. They will call us or not. We got their office number. We will call you back and like we'll just take an appointment for the day to fix to get a meeting with the principal. Not about the session, only about the meeting to the principal.
Right.
Like we will meet with you, then we will discuss about our this project sessions. Then at last, what happened? Like literally, then we used to mail them, we used to call them. We were taking follows. In between, even sir, you also said us like what are the other option to make them understand in this
Yeah.
project. And then like even my other team members, like even they were like, it's like challenging, but it was, we have to overcome it anyways, right?
Absolutely.
So finally we got an opportunity to face these things in Kolkata, and we did for 5 schools, then across India 30 schools. And this challenge was like people were completely like happy to know about something there is beyond like other field. Like people
Yeah.
wants to do BCom, they want to be a like
Right.
whatever it is.
So Vishal, I'm going to come back to you. But before
sir.
that, let me just add one thing. I remember this was the most difficult part because this did not depend only on the students and the optometrists, right?
Exactly, sir.
Making posters, it was creative. They had to do it themselves. But here, a lot depended on whether the principal allowed them even an entry to talk to them, and then allowed them to have a session with their students, etc. So this was very challenging. I remember at some point we also lost our cool. We were like, what is happening? Why is this not moving? What are
Exactly,
you
sir.
guys doing? Let us know what help you need and so on. So we also lost a few hair in this process. Let me move across to Mishti first. So Mishti, once you cracked this, once you were allowed to go inside, how was your experience? How did you manage to, interact with the children? What was their response and so on? Take us through that.
Yes. So thanks, Vishal, for letting us through how we cracked into the place. And
Welcome, Misty.
thank you so much. So after we were successful in reaching to the students, so we did schools and colleges both. And we had the majority were college students, that was 11th and 12th. But our major hurdle was the principal first, who would ask us, why are you giving us a career session in the beginning of the year? The school hasn't even
That's
started.
always the hurdle, right?
That's
The
always the
principals.
hurdle. The principals, yes. And then when we reached out to the students, we were like, no, they should know about the field. And something which was very interesting for me was when we would tell them that we are trying to build our network to be more stronger so that we get a better recognition. And then there was a, oh, is it a PMO level? And all these Modi fans and this, okay, fine, please do a session for our students. So that was a very interesting response that we got, probably the love to our government, that we got the opportunity to
Wonderful.
speak to these students.
Happy to hear that.
Yes, we were very happy to hear that.
That you got
So
opportunity because of that.
yes. And then when we spoke with the students and we just asked them one simple question, how we start, like, how many of you have heard of this field? And you would see batting eyelids. And after there would be like feeble voices around saying that, is it that optician, ma'am? And we would be like, okay, there we are. And and we started telling them about what the field was, and we tried to understand what was this mindset of students as to what field they wanted to choose. As we know,
Right.
everybody wants engineering, medical, and why they wanted. And some students told us that after we ran through the session and we explained to them the spread of the field and how vast the field in itself was, which sadly many of us don't know. And they were like, yes, ma'am, I think we will keep this as a fallback option. So that was a small group which told that, which was still disheartening. And then we had to sit them out and we used to make them understand that what you are trying to achieve is the same with this field itself. You cannot compare a field to another. Each field has its specializations and subspecializations. So you could choose one of them, which is equally enriching. So it would come down to like, ma'am, it is fine, but will your field pay us as much as the other medical fields would?
Of course,
So it
yeah.
would come down to income at the end of it. And we would explain to them how that tree went and how if you went up with your specializations and took up something more promising, yes, you would have that.
Okay.
So that was one group. And then we had this challenge of, we tried to understand the psychology of patients, because and students, that was like a learning for us for every next school or college we wanted to approach. In rurals, we saw that concern that it was more of economic concerns and more of responsibilities towards their family, towards their career and their life. So we catered in that direction, and surprisingly, they were very happy, because many of them do want to be in a medical front, but because of how heavy the fee structure and all is, they are not able to. So they were very happy about the field. And they were also happy because the government supports us and you have a lot of government placements as well.
Right.
So that was something we were happy about. And one thing that was very surprising for me as well, they asked us that, ma'am, when the field is so nice and it has so much spread across, why isn't the paramedical council counseling about this course? So that was a question left back to me. I said, we are working on it, but like I said in the beginning, that we need a strong network for all that to happen in time. So that was something I learned. And I said, yes, that's something we need to, with your help and support, probably we'll go ahead.
So the actual answer to that question is we are keeping it only for the best people.
Yes, that would be very diplomatic.
Just a quick question for both of you. Did you use any props to demonstrate something? I heard you use something.
Yes, we did use,
We did, sir, we did.
What was that?
Like we taken as a sample like ophthalmic lenses and contact lenses trial, and even we had taken our personal like retinoscope. Like we used to show them like what these machines work and how this function to like do the refractions and all.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, that
Mishti,
was
anything
fun.
else or just?
Yes, we tried to tell them how tunnel vision was. We asked them to close their eyes, and we made them understand how the field was diverse. And we even showed them a couple of videos as how the field is and how people across are. And yes, that was more promising for us.
Because demonstration works the best sometimes, right?
Yes, video always works.
Awesome. So we are coming towards the end, but what I'm going to do now is I'll move across to each one of you again. Yeah, Lakshmi, just one second. I'll come to you. So before I come to you, I'll give it, Lakshmi will say something, then I'll come to you. I'm going to ask you just very simple question, everyone same question. One was, what was the prevalence rate in the region, in the areas that you did? And secondly, just 1 or 2 lines, your impression about the project, your experience, and maybe in 1 line, any message you want to give to others. Simple. Okay. Yeah, Lakshmi, go ahead.
No, I just, when she said, when people said that optometry was a fallback option, Sharanya and me were smiling. Because for us also, this was a fallback option. And that is how we are.
But that was so many years ago.
I saw Sharanya and me smiling, and I understood this is what is going on in our head.
True. I've been there, done that.
Actually, this was kind of a conversation we had. My sister is here with me, and she said, I was telling her, if you have to study and something like that to my nephew and my son. And she turns around and she says, so what have you not achieved in life doing optometry? You've probably done more in life being an optometrist than what you would have been if you were a doctor. You would have been one among so many, whereas here you are actually making a change to so many people's lives. Yeah. So I think that's
exactly what I told Nilesh.
That sums up so well.
Nilesh the same thing. Yeah.
That sums up so well.
I think that is, that kind of that was sort of going on in my mind as Mishti was saying that.
Yeah, I think most of us feel that, right? That we've done so much within this field, being an optometrist.
Correct.
So thank God that we took up this profession.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm just coming back to the same question, and this is for everyone. If you have done the screening and things, what was the prevalence, and what is your message to all the optoms?
Yeah, so the prevalence was about 13%, 13.
Okay.
Yeah. And we did find that acceptance for glasses was not as much. It took a little while, but now it's improving as in, the more screenings we're doing, the more we're talking, the more awareness we're creating, it's starting to get a little better. I would also like to add on, as a result of all these screening programs, one of the principals of the school that we screened has referred a student to us to join optometry this year.
Wow. So that's your victory.
Yeah. So we have a huge win on that. This program has sort of, the passion to do community work, I think, is there in almost all of us.
Right.
We wouldn't be sitting here in India if we didn't want to come back and stay here in India and do things from where we are. So projects like this, companies like Bausch & Lomb helping us, OCI standing as a huge support when we say, can we do this? Can we do that? And I'm so sorry, Paula, we're so bad at answering your mails. You know, we
She's used to
really
that.
torture
She's
you.
used to that.
So, you know, I mean, she's so patient. She'll just go, ma'am, message nahi aaya aapka.
That's because you probably haven't seen behind the scenes.
Yeah, I know. But thank you so much. I think the whole project brought about a lot of things for us.
Yeah.
The students learned planning, management, execution. You know, there are so many things like data collection and the importance of getting all the data right. So I think that was a huge learning.
Awesome.
I'm speaking in terms of being an educator as well as being someone who's done this work. So I think, you know, more projects like this, more learning, and we'll establish optometry as a far more stronger profession.
Awesome. That's so encouraging. And thank you, Sharanya, for being
Thank
so
you.
articulate as well. Moving across to Roshna. You gave that answer of 8.6%. Now
No,
the next
as
part
a
is overall.
state, as a state, the prevalence is approximately 11%. In the rural
Okay.
areas, it is a little bit less because
Right.
that much of digital intervention is
Possibly. Yeah.
not there, I guess. And overall, like I mentioned, because the focus on the Northeast is given very less, so we are extremely thankful. However, I just want to say one thing, that in the future, maybe if we could scale up in different areas, because 10
Right.
schools for us, you know, it's
It's
a very
small,
small, yeah. It's a big thing for us as a start, but I would like to intervene in more of the rural areas as well.
So it has
We're
begun.
coming up. We're coming up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It has begun. It
I'm
has to
waiting, ma'am.
snowball. It has begun. It has to snowball.
Yeah, sure.
How about you, Aishwarya? Any quick words?
Yeah, as per our data, as in we have got around 4 to 5% to be our prevalence rate.
Okay.
But we have a lot of spectacle withdrawals that happens. Even if we go back for a follow-up or anything.
Yeah, that's another challenge.
Yeah, we hardly find that kid to wear a spectacle because, moreover, because of their parents not taking it seriously or the teachers not actually working on them, or we actually use this attendance thing only to the teachers. We explain them, either mark them absent if they are not wearing it, so that they'll take it very seriously and they'll keep it as their habit. So this is one thing that has been taken. And yeah, once starting with this experience vision program, yeah, definitely it helped us. I would say I will very much appreciate my team. They did a lot of hard work, and that was well recognized, well appreciated by the people or wherever we reached. Yes, those schools or those principal, and we have some other local clubs or the Rotary clubs and all the clubs and few pharma companies also who are willing to take up from their side that, okay, fine, we are ready to do 1,000 screening or 500 screening. Please, you can involve us. We are ready to participate and please do the screening. So they actually led their hands to us. So we are very happy about it. And at the same time, just going through this, I would say till now, even the posters are helping us. We have actually added on this program with screening of intellectually disabled students. All the disabled, we have covered everything, physical, mentally disabled. Right. So when it comes to the posters, again, it helps them.
Okay.
So posters are something very attractive to them, even if they are screening those kids are really difficult. It's a major challenge where we especially take the pediatric opto with us. So that person has to dedicatedly work on individual kid, and it takes, even if screening 30 kids takes around 3-4 hours or something it takes, but still we are very good with it. And so because of that, we have raised a lot of supports, and we have raised a lot of connections, and yes, the schools are really supporting. And after seeing the hard work and dedication that we have put on, they actually requested us, yes, please give us a visit every year, which was so in the beginning, no need of coming, our kids. So they have requested us every year. They are okay with we going and screening.
So overall, you'll say it is successful and you're happy with it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya. Divya, what do you think? Your experience was different, and what are your last words?
Yeah, it was a well-planned program. The objectives were set, the protocols were well planned, and so that we were able to deliver. We had a clear idea of what was expected, and we were able to deliver the same to the community.
Right.
So it was. I mean, thank you OCI for this, and Bausch and Lomb for this beautiful opportunity where we were able to reach to the community. Actually, the I mean, we were since there was financial support as well from the for the travel,
Right.
we were able to actually reach out, because we also went to rural places. Like we ourselves are located in a 40 kilometers from the city. So from there we traveled some 20 kilometers or 10 kilometers interior, and there we did these programs. It was uh, actually possible because we had the all the supports which was required, and that was bared by the program. So that was very helpful. It was very holistically planned. Thank you.
Wonderful. What about Misty and Vishal, the youngsters, the young blood?
So yes, we saw it to be close to around 11 to 13%. And there was something very interesting that we found, that the rural were very interested towards our field. But again, like I said, I had something interesting. There was one who said that, ma'am, is this course available in regional languages? And I said no. But then I came back to read what if it was, and surprisingly, there are a couple of universities across India who are giving paramedical courses in 4 other languages, including Marathi, Konkani, Urdu, and one more. And surprisingly, there's one university who's even translating optometry in Konkani and Urdu and Marathi, for that matter. So I said the effect and the impact of a medical field is lost if we do it in regional languages, because if you want to see as a global level. But then that's something that they came back asking us, because they were ready for the course, but yes, because of the language issues, they had their hesitation. But
yeah, it sounds like a very genuine concern, right?
yes. So that was something interesting, but then overall it was very nice. And I was even asked as to, ma'am, when the scope of it is so well abroad, and why are you over here? So I had to tell them back that if we all rooted ourselves in India, is then when we would see a day when we would stop complaining about our field, and we would be as proud of our field as people abroad are. So we have to root ourselves for our country and work for our country, rather than sitting abroad and complaining that optometry is suffering in India. So we don't want to be in that land.
Exactly. I want to second this particular point. Many people keep complaining, ye nahi ho raha, this is not happening, that is not happening. Whenever anyone comes to me and says this, my immediate question is, yeah, I agree with you. What have you done towards this? And the answer is, I've only complained. So of course, we have to raise our voice. We have to raise the complaints. Everything is fine. But think about it. What have I done individually? Only then you can, complain about other people not doing anything and holding other people responsible. Vishal, what about you? What is your last few comments?
Sir, basically, I will just add on something to the Misty. Like prevalence rate, we can just say between like 11 to 15%. And second thing, this project was, you can say, it was like more challenging, passionate, and like it was happy, something new which we can deliver to the community. Like we can just deliver like our career as a standardization point, right? Like majority of the schools where we are going to do this, where we did actually our projects, we have to do these things again and again, because until we're not telling about our optometry profession, they will not able to understand like what is actually optometry.
So there has to be a consistent. No, thank you, Vishal. But what he's trying to say is we need to be more consistent. It cannot be a one-off kind of intervention, and we cannot expect results.
Exactly, sir.
So thank you so much. I think that is it about from my side. So thank you all the wonderful panelists. You've been very articulate, to be honest, spot on in your comments and your responses. So I'm going to hand it over to Lakshmi and the team OCI to round it off.
Yeah.
To wind it up.
Yeah. So I hope, Kemraj, you heard, no? Vishal said we have to be consistent in, delivery. So I hope you got the message.
There's Lakshmi doing her work.
Exactly, that's right. No, I'm so happy, to see that they talked about all the hurdles, but they didn't convey anything to me. All I got was, that of course Paula might have listened to all
You
of
are
that
so
a bit.
lucky.
Paula filters it and then sends it to me. But just imagine the result. Just look at the result. Despite all the hassles that let's say Aishwarya had about time nahi hai, and then the weather in Northeast, and then Sharanya's battle towards getting permission to do all the screenings and the awareness, and same even with Divya. It was more of her self passion and her team's passion that drove it, because the university support, I don't think, was really much, is what I understand. So despite all of that, just imagine the result that we're seeing. I mean, it's commendable. And even the youngsters, I still remember in the WhatsApp, I used to say,
Thank you, ma'am.
nahi hua, counseling nahi hua, and then they used to say, ma'am, permission nahi mila.
Thank you.
Permission nahi mila. But to top it all, I think, Kemraj, you are what shall I say, master of the ceremony, if I can put it that way. Because without that support, I don't think we would have, done any of without that support. So such a great, for a company to have faith is a big step, is a huge step, and all credits to Bausch + Lomb for that. To have faith in such a young organization, to say yes, they will deliver. That's a huge step, which you guys have taken. And thanks a lot for having that faith in us. So over to you, Kemraj. I want to listen from you. What's your experience? This is all the good side. So I want you to say what you felt.
Which is even a better side.
I'm extremely happy to see the execution part. And in fact, good that I attended to the entire call and I happened to hear the right, things which were happening in market or, down there in field. One thing which is there, like from corporate side, Bausch + Lomb has been, since its establishment, the core vision or the only vision for Bausch + Lomb is to help people see better. And I think this is one such effort which has gone in right direction, also for right people. I was really, my ears were like this when Roshna was speaking about the challenges which they had to go to all those rural area, or where Aishwarya was mentioning that they really had to play like two contrasts, but then at the end, this team of optometrists has finally done it. And all kudos to all of you. And I know a lot more people who might not be able to be here on this call, but then thanks a lot to OCI to coordinate this program so well. And a unique thing about this program is everything was done by an optometrist. I think for a profession and for me, myself being an optometrist, this is a really great thing. And things which you don't know, I should tell you that. Things which, the way we started with this. I know Lakshmi ma'am has, burned how many liters of midnight oil, revising the format, revising the protocol, and then we discussing over call, before every call with corporate and after every call with corporate. But then I think we were the happiest people when we got this sanction from Global Bausch + Lomb that yes, you can go ahead and do this, because the program was designed so well. As Divya also mentioned, that it's like end to end. It's not only you're going and doing screening and coming back. There were interventions made for people who wanted it, and also there was a follow-up. So from a corporate side, I think this is what we wanted, which all of you, the entire team has delivered. We are really happy about the, about the entire program execution. But I think many of you have said this already. And we also know that this is just a drop in ocean. More resources should be driven in these directions. I was really happy when all of you were explaining that how your students have taken this particular product so passionately, and that passion was like really visible while you guys were speaking. In a way, you are already exposing your students to community eye health or public eye health. That is what is required. So in nutshell, really happy to see the actual execution, and let's hope that we continue doing giving our services in this direction for the benefit of all these people who actually need us. That's all from our side.
Thank you, Kemraj. And
Thank you,
as
sir.
Kemraj said, I think we had a huge team, many more colleges which implemented, many more young optometrists who did the counseling. Since we can't have everybody, we just chose a few, just so that they represent different regions as well. Like Aishwarya is from West, Roshna from Northeast, and then some from South, and of course, Vishal was doing a bit of North. Mishti in Bangalore and so on. So we just selected a mixture of regions so that they could be represented. Paula, any Facebook questions? Is there any questions or only comments?
I saw a couple of comments. They are saying it was a great learning experience. Through their experience, others are also learning, which is heartening to see, because this is how people learn, right?
Yes.
With each other's experience.
Aishwarya spoke about the challenges. So similar kind of challenge, I think one of our viewer also had.
Right.
So maybe, and I don't know if we can discuss a little bit more sometime else, or some solution can be given.
In terms of special needs, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah. Maybe
maybe
that's a takeaway, and maybe as a team we need to work on that and come back with possible solutions.
Yeah. And no questions, Paula?
No.
Okay. So one person I really need to thank is Madam herself, Paula. So she as Sharanya said, she is on it. She say, "Ma'am, mail bheja, reply nahi aaya. मैंने deadline दे दिया, फिर भी reply नहीं आया." So all credit to her. Absolutely all credit to her for.
So now remember, deadline के पहले, deadline तक अगर reply नहीं आया, then you're dead.
I just want to say one thing, that as Kemraj also mentioned, that this was end-to-end by optometrists. So me personally, being an optometrist, I have never done project work. I've never handled a project. So this was a huge learning for me, that how to become a project handler basically. So I think I'll do good for the later projects.
Of course, no doubts. I have no doubts.
You're already doing so well.
I think the panel here itself is a classic example of what optometry can do, what an optometrist can do. There's educators, there's people in the corporate, there's people who are working in the community. So I think this panel says it all.
Yes, absolutely, Sharanya. I think that's a very good note to end on.
Yeah.
That the profession is huge. There are many opportunities, and we just have to look for it and be passionate about what you do. I think, that's the main thing. Be passionate about whatever you do.
Actually, I just wanted to say something. I'm not an optometrist. Miss Paula just told me to join because I head projects in Bansara Eye Care. So, but we have a team of optometrists, yeah, definitely, who went to the ground level and executed the project. Yeah.
Thanks, Roshna. Thanks for that.
Yes, thank you.
But I'm sure all your optometrists are also equally passionate. That's how the project was a huge success.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for your time. I think we've overshot quite a bit in our enthusiasm. Yeah. So thank you for all your time and support. And thanks, Kemraj, for joining as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Everybody listening.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
All the best and take care.
Stay safe. Stay safe, everybody.